WLFE DB Radio.
Talk with Teddy starts now. You pick the topic, I pick the guest. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube page, Facebook, and more. You're listening to Talk with Teddy on WLFE DB Radio Network. Please check out our website at WLFE-DB.com. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Talk with Teddy, and tonight is another really cool show. Tuesday night was amazing, but tonight is going to be just as amazing. It's been a long day for me, so I'm looking forward to this like no tomorrow, to be honest with you. I just started the watch party, guys, so it will be out on my personal page, as well as, where are we tonight? We are on WLFE Facebook. We are on Talk with Teddy Facebook. We're also on Talk with Teddy on YouTube Live and WLFE Live. And then, of course, we're on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Radio.com, Deezer. I mean, there's no reason to miss the show. There's, 20 outlets, guys. 20 freaking outlets. If you missed the show tonight, there's something wrong with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Mr. Brian Ayers with us right here this evening. Your mic is on, sir, so you can say hi to everybody.
Hi to everybody, and how the heck are you, Ted? It's been a long time. Good to see you, buddy.
I haven't seen you since Blue Jimmy Nashville's.
Yeah, I would say so. I haven't seen you since Double Cross Nashville's.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It has been a while. But you know what? Those are great times. We've known of each other for a long time. We've crossed each other's paths a few times. I've even went to your 4th of July party.
You were at Ayers Fest, right?
At Ayers Fest, that's what it was. Yeah, with Bonnie McDowell.
You were telling that story with David Miller on Tuesday night.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Another backyard party that turned out to be hopefully a little better than you expected. And
I had a blast, man.
Yeah,
I had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun watching all the guys and the kids in the pool doing all their crazy stuff, and that was it. It was fun.
Yeah.
We get to a certain age ourselves, and we're just like, that looks fun, but no, not doing it.
And make for a long day tomorrow. Well, as we go through the show, I'll talk a little bit about Ayers Fest, because we actually had the opportunity to keep it going this year in a pretty special way. We thought we were done with it, but we've got new plans, and so I'll tell you about that a little later on in the show.
I would love an invite.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Oh man, because I had a blast the last time. In fact, I haven't seen Bonnie in such a long time, and I really hope that I get to see her soon. I've sent her a message about tonight, so hopefully she'll be joining us as well at some point to say hi to you, and it'll be fun. I really do think it'll be a blast.
Yeah, man. Well, she's pretty busy raising her grandkids these days, from what I hear.
I know, isn't that crazy? I'm like, Bonnie is a grandma.
she's got to be the best grandma you could ever ask for.
Oh, you're kidding me? It's got to be awesome.
Yeah, she's great. So love to you, Bonnie. Love to you.
That's right. Double love. All right, so basically what I'm going to do a little bit here while people are showing up, and we've already got comments starting here. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Kathy DeGraw. And Alan L. Berry giving a shout-out to Todd A. Fisher and Psycho Bunny Death Cult. You guys are crazy. I had you guys on the show. I had those guys on the show, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Fell in love with those guys. The name scares the hell out of you, Psycho Bunny Death Cult, but they are so cool, and just love them. Just love them. I'm going to have them back. Never let a name stand in the way of people, meeting people. Those people were amazing. They're all talented individuals, from art to music to just actors, and just amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. All right, and we got Scott Wells and some of the other ones showing up over on my watch party, and unfortunately I can't see the comments on the other three, and I can't see your comments on any of the audio things if you're putting them there. Unfortunately, you have to come over to WLFE's Facebook, Talk with Teddy's Facebook, or the one on my personal page to get your questions to me. Alan Berry, he's been interviewing me on paranormal and depression awareness. You're damn right. Depression awareness is crazy, man. I have severe anxiety, and I've been on medication for Christ 15 years. So yeah, and music actually was one of those things that helped me, and that's another reason why I talk with Teddy. I have decided to bring in as many musicians as I can, because I love music and I love hearing and promoting other people. That's what I used to do with the CDCTT tour that we did in New York, and had a blast with that. I think Blue Jimmy did it. Didn't Blue Jimmy do it once or twice?
We came down and played your show in Portageville, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
What a great club. What a great club.
Oh.
I had no idea how big and how friendly, what a great vibe it is down in Portageville. What was the name of that club, or is the name of that club?
Letchworth Pines.
Letchworth Pines, that's right. They've got a storied history. They've been bringing in great acts for years.
Oh, man, yeah, for many years. Big national acts as well. I mean, they've had some big names there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome. So, you got 2 cameras going, because you got one above you.
I've got one above me. The other one that I had that's kind of below me, I shut that down because the audio wasn't good on it.
Okay, so you look like you're looking at another stream instead of looking at us. There you go. See, now I can see you. Yeah, that's the one. There you go. That's okay. Hey, look wherever I am. I don't care. You know,
there you go.
You can't miss me either way. So
please don't think I'm ignoring you. It just is what it is.
That's right. Alan Berry, thank you. He said this is a great podcast, and thank you. We are audiocast, videocast, a little better than podcast these days. Having a lot more fun, though. All right, so basically at this time, guys, you know how this works. I'm going to read a little bit of Brian's bio here that I stole, fair and square. So, and I believe I took it off of Brian Ayers' Music is where I think I found it at, I believe. So if I'm wrong, Brian, you'll have to yell at me.
You're right so far. You're doing great.
Thanks. All right, so it says, Brian Ayers is a singer-songwriter performing original and cover material with influences of country, folk, and rock. Based in the Finger Lakes and Greater Rochester region of Western New York, he's currently working as a solo act with Chad Ayers as the Ayers Brothers, and in a slightly larger format as the Ayers Brothers Acoustic Band, which is awesome. The 2 Feet Between Me and You debuted in get that cursor out of the way in 1998 and featured the popular single Road Trip from 2000 to 2013. Brian helped write and record 3 albums of original material with pop, Americana, band blues, Blue Jimmy. Yes, there's a lot to say there. Blue Jimmy's awesome, guys. If you ever get an opportunity, I hope they're still playing, right? Blue Jimmy's still jamming?
Chad, we haven't played a gig together as a band in 5 or 6 years, but that's kind of another announcement I'll make tonight is we finally got a reunion show coming up in 2 or 3 weeks that I'll tell you about.
Cool. We will talk about that. So Blue Jimmy is awesome, guys. Let's see. Blue Jimmy live, he's recently enjoyed... Well, that's to finish that one, sorry. He's recently enjoyed stints with local acts, including Goodness and Steel Rails. Notably, past performances have included such roles with Travis Tritt, the Beach Boys, Howie Mandell, Michael Bolton, Shooter Jennings, Roger Clyne, and Steve Holy, among others. Now, some great names in there. First off, guys, Travis Tritt, fantastic, one of my all-time favorites. The Beach Boys, another all-time favorite. Howie Mandel, I don't know where that fits in there. You'll have to explain that one. Michael Bolton, of course. Shooter Jennings, I opened up for him myself. Yeah. And Steve Holy. So they're all great musicians except for Howie Mandel. Didn't know he could sing. I know he's a comedian, but I didn't know he could sing.
He doesn't sing, and I didn't know why I got hired for that gig either, because I was just a solo folk artist. And they hired me to support him in Erie, Pennsylvania, and he was doing his stand-up gig. And it was odd. I mean, I had done 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 theaters before without a problem and been well received. But for a comedy show, stand-up comedy show, I think this was kind of a curveball for the audience. So I just went out and did my thing, did my folk singer-songwriter thing, and it was kind of tough for the audience, I think, to swallow. It wasn't what they were expecting.
Right.
And of course, I got the obligatory heckling from a few members in the audience, and which is okay, which is fine. But
Right.
you know, when my set was over, I was ready to get off stage, and it was the theater in Erie we were playing. They had those big, thick theater curtains that you have to push through to find your way to the backstage area, and
Right.
And somebody grabbed my arm and pulled me in the direction I needed to go, and it was Howie. And he said, man, don't worry about it. You were fantastic. You were great. Don't worry about those guys out there. And I said, well, thanks. I appreciate that very much. He said, I'm going to be leaving this stand-up comedy gig pretty soon. I said, really? He says, I'm going into TV. And I think it was 3 months later, he had the Howie Mandell show, which some of the game shows that he did.
Yeah.
He had hair back then. I got a picture of him and I with he with his hair, and it was real hair. So yeah, he was very, very gracious guy. Very gracious guy. Of all the support acts I've done, he's actually the only one that took the time to call me to his dressing room to meet me and talk to me. Like I was part of his show, not just some kind of forgotten add-on, like some national artists can give you, and for understandable reasons. But
Right.
Super gracious guy, great guy. Weird gig, great guy.
Yeah, and he has that. He doesn't like being touched thing. He's got that whole germaphobe thing working.
That's what I had heard, but he shook my hand and patted me on the back. Like I said, grabbed me to pull me off stage properly, and it was great.
Cool. Alan, I have to say, he's like, yeah, I had hair once too, and it's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, yeah, I had hair once too, and Alan also says I love folk music. So, we got a few people in here making some comments already. Luke Bastian is here. Kathy DeGraw. Let's see. Alan. Let's see. Luke. We got him. Rose Philp. What is it? Phipps. Rose Philp. Phipps. Ross Phipps. Jesus, I can't. Where the hell's my glasses? Somebody. Yeah, there we go. And let's see. Over here we have Scott Wells, John Yanero, Sage Accord, David Malone. And like I said, they're going to come in, and I can't see the rest of them. But, guys, we are here talking with Brian Ayers. He is a local musician for me. He's right down the road, probably, 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, because you're right down to 390, or maybe right down 15, right?
Actually, I'm actually 9 miles from Geneseo. I'm like South Avon.
Okay, yeah, I'm over in West Bloomfield, so we're
not that bad. So over here, I'm going to put up Brian's stuff. This, of course, he's a guest, and you can go check out his websites we have listed, which is brianayersmusic.com, facebook.com Ayers Brothers, and facebook.com Blue Jimmy. And let's go back in time a little bit. Let's start right from the beginning. Your family, it seems like your whole family is musically inclined here.
Yeah. It came from my mother's side. My father was an instrumental music teacher just south of us in Naples. He put in 25 years in Naples. Where he got his musical inclinations from, I'm not sure. But my mother picked up his musical ability. She's a fantastic pianist. My mother is. I can remember growing up, and she would be in the living room with our upright piano, and she could play Scott Joplin like nobody's business.
No kidding.
A lot of ragtime. She enjoyed it. That's I hold The Entertainer near and dear to my heart because I remember her playing it, and then a lot of musicals. She played for local school musicals as well. So with her playing the piano, there was always some music in the house. My father, not so much musically inclined, but had the best vinyl collection, and his vinyl collection defined me very much so. I can remember Mac Davis was
oh my God.
Mac Davis albums. Stop and Smell the Roses. I knew it front to back and probably still do.
One of my favorite songs of all time, and one of the other ones was I'll think of it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'll think of it.
I know. Stop and Smell the Roses has got great songs on it.
Oh my God.
Stardust was another one that had just come out when I was young. Willie Nelson's Stardust. And,
Mm.
and that captivated me. Dad had the Highwaymen going, and so that's probably where I got my country tendencies, my classic country tendencies, and my folk tendencies as well. But I've still got some of his albums. He doesn't know I have some of his albums, but I've got some of his albums. And yeah, and so between my mom playing the piano and my dad's vinyl, I was consuming it as much, when I was a kid. Um, and I can remember saving up, getting a job, picking raspberries when I was 10, and I saved every dollar from every pint I picked and went out to a department store at the end of the season and bought a tape recorder, a small little tape machine, and started collecting cassettes. And the Carpenters actually were a big influence.
Oh, the Carpenters, yeah. Yeah.
That voice, I couldn't get enough of Karen Carpenter, and that's probably where I get the ballad tendencies. So I'd
That's
say those are
crazy.
some of the things that contributed to where I'm at today.
You know what's funny? Now, let me ask, how old are you, Brian?
48, be 49 in a couple months.
You know, it's the same. I'm going to be 54, but that's pretty much everything I was listening to.
Yeah,
The same stuff, you know.
yeah,
Captain and Tennille was in there as well for me. I listened to them. ABBA, all that stuff was there growing up, you
yeah.
know. But a lot of Elvis influence. Not much of the Beatles, a little bit. Monkeys, yes, you know. But I was big into the harmony. I love 3 and 4 part harmony stuff. Um,
Well, and that's probably why I'm more of a Beach Boys fan than I am a Beatles fan.
Beach Boys, Dan and Gene. Oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The surfing stuff was big in our house. The whole American Graffiti soundtrack was big in
yeah.
our house. Yes.
I bet
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was born about 15 years too late, for what I tend to listen to. You know,
Well, you
even
know,
even
I go ahead.
I'm just saying, even today, my tendencies still are back in the early to mid '70s. The James Taylor and the early Paul Simon and the late Simon and
Right,
Garfunkel
right,
stuff
right.
before the split. That's where my heart is. So
Yeah, that's
there's some
awesome.
great contemporaries coming out these days, though, that have a lot of that sound and are making everything old new again in their own way. So
Hmm.
I'm heartened to see that.
I've had so many different independent influences, Wayne Newton to Danny Kaye to Bing Crosby. I mean, I loved all that stuff. Louis Lee, Jerry Lee Lewis. Sorry, and I've got a friend. His name is Louis Lee down here. I don't know why I was thinking about him, but whatever. And I was influenced by a lot of that stuff as well. Um, and I still can't think of that Mac Davis song. I know it had something to do about she's one hell of a woman,
Yeah.
young and strong, and yeah, I
Yeah.
love that song.
There,
Love
there,
that
there
song.
is a great. It comes down so nicely into the verses with this
Oh
nice
yeah,
smooth bass line. Boom, boom, boom. It's almost
oh yeah,
like a Marvin Gaye type of
yeah.
slide into the verses.
But
And
I loved Mac Davis. Remember his show?
I'd heard he had one, but I had never seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
A
He
variety
sang a
show, I
lot on that
assume.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know that, and I mean, we were stuck on Hee Haw because that's what my folks watched and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. But it was all great stuff. So hello, Tom Nally and Nick Moulet and Eric Harrison. Thank you for joining us here. That's awesome. Diane Scholl, Plato, hello. Raymond, hello. Michelle Millens, hello. Oh, look at that. You got them all in here. Lisa Hagedorn, E. Michael Whitmore. Yeah, there we go. David Malone. So, guys, we're sitting here talking with Brian Ayers. He's a local musician who has done some great things, and we're talking about the start of music for him, and it came from his mother's side, which is really cool because that's where it came from. My side was my mom. Um, it's my mom was Elvis and Ricky Nelson. She loved that stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd always catch her out on the dance floor doing some clogging with some of the hillbilly stuff as well. She was really big into the gospel and hillbilly music, clogging, all that, goofy stuff. but it was fun. It was good music. It was all an influence. So I'm gonna pop this up here again so everybody can check out you on Facebook. You can check out BrianAyersMusic.com, Facebook.com, Aaron Brothers, Ayers Brothers, and then of course Facebook Blue Jimmy. So performing. When did you actually start performing on stage or jamborees, stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I think well, everybody had a high school band, I guess. Every
Yeah.
musician, got themselves into a high school band. And I actually started playing bass guitar in a metal band. Well,
Okay.
I shouldn't say metal band. I guess I should say pop metal band. We were doing stuff like Poison. We were doing a little Ronnie James Dio, some Ozzy, and I had no idea. I was a horn player, a brass player all through high school. And somebody asked me if I'd play bass in a band, and I said I didn't know how to play bass. And they said, "Why don't you just learn?" So I said, "Good idea," and went up to the house of guitar. Yep,
Why not?
Why not? Right? Some people ask why. I asked why not. And I went up to the house of guitars, and my folks helped me out and bought me a pretty inexpensive PV bass and a PV TKO amp.
Wow.
And I learned how to get, slept through some simple songs. We did some high school gigs, swapped that band in for what eventually became Blue Jimmy.
Right.
And so we've been together since high school, since the mid to late 80s.
Cool.
And but I would say performing regularly and somewhat semi-professionally, that came in college. When I was always, knocking around the guitar around a campfire. But when I went to school for archaeology, I was on the archaeological dig in the summertime, and long story short, I had cut my hand pretty badly. I needed some stitches, and I came home to recoup on the break, and I was all bandaged up, but I had found a way to tune the guitar. I couldn't fret chords. So I tuned the guitar into an open tuning so I could just bar with one finger and play major chords and get through a song. And my mom just was amazed that I found a way to keep playing. And she says, "Well, why aren't you playing out more? Why don't you?" And I said, she said, "You should." She really encouraged me to actually get an act together, to get a actual set list of songs and promote myself as a performing musician. And I started out like a lot of people doing coffee shops and small pubs and whoever would have me in, and it worked out well. I got a small following.
I got to tell you that one of my fondest memories, fondest things to do, my favorite things I should say to do, is I loved doing the coffee shops. Yeah. I loved doing those because it was very personable, up close, acoustic guitar or keys. I've done a lot of a cappella work, and it's just it's amazing what little places like that can do for you.
Yeah.
And what you can sing and get away with as well.
True. So the energy in those rooms is usually good, and the people are there to listen, and they want to hear what you have to sing and what you have to say, and they want to be attentive to you. And you and I, we were just
more so than a bar. You
and I both did the Nashville stint and many bars like it, and they were all good times. But different, and it's easy to feel like the jukebox at times, and to fall into that trap of just kind of playing whatever they'll respond to. Right. It's kind of on their terms and not yours. In many venues like that, you get into the coffee shops. The house concerts are great, and then some of the just nice boutique eateries. The Little Theater comes to mind. There's a cafe off the side of the Little Theater it's had a very great listening room. Jerry Falzone puts together a lot of songwriter events. Fandango at the Tango had a nice stint, and those are my favorite shows. And they're not the shows I play the most because I don't know why. Just they tend to come to me and I play them when I can. But those are the ones near and dear to my heart.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how many bands over the years do you think you've been in?
Probably 10.
Probably 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna go all the way back to high school and early college.
It's gonna be more, but yeah. I mean,
I would say meaningful bands that produced some good material and that played some solid gigs and actually got some traction. Probably a half dozen.
Yeah.
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 So
I mean,
I tend
it's. Go ahead.
I tend to find groups of people and try to develop it for a number of years rather than
Right.
sit around in different pockets.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Dave about this stuff on Tuesday, but one of the things about being in a band that I don't know if people in the chats realize or know that there's a lot of work that goes into being a band, and it's not just learning a song and learning to play the song. And I mean, there's so much other work that has to go into it. And I kind of want to talk to you about it. Maybe you could bring your thoughts in on it as well. From finding the right musicians that fit. Now that's one of the biggest pieces of putting a band together
Sure.
is the emotions between all the players to making sure that they don't bump heads or they can actually work together without somebody that has an ego problem or whatever. I mean, that could be a real problem.
Sure.
um,
Sure.
and usually, I mean, depending on the type of band you had, there's usually a guitar, bass, drummer. You might have a rhythm player. Some people may have keys or a steel player or whatever. But finding the pieces that you want to cover the material you want is another piece of that. Because sometimes you don't want to go outside that because sometimes a guitar or a keyboard can't really mimic, say what a violin or a fiddle or a steel player can do. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's tough, but it's nice to have all that. Also, one of the other things that off the top of my head with putting a band together and this stuff that goes is the material. Who you're gonna, who's gonna be responsible for the material, or is it everybody bringing in material? Then
Yeah.
you have to figure out who's singing and who's doing this and who's doing that, and then gigs and people. That's one of the things that got me with Double Cross performing as much as we did. That people just spouted out songs all the time, and they're like, and then they get mad when you can't do the song that they want. And I'm like, you don't realize, how much work that goes into this. I mean, if we're, next door neighbors and we can play in the garage and rehearse like every day, we might be able to have every song in the world that you want, but it doesn't normally work
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Well, you and I both approach it, as a singer, and I don't know about
Right,
yourself, but there's some stuff that I can sing really really well and knock it out of the park, and I don't have to work hard at it because I just feel it, and part of it's genre, part of it's what is the range of the song, what is that
right,
demand of you, and then there's other stuff that it just if it doesn't feel comfortable, it's really tough to wrap your brain around it, and you don't want to try to present that every other night. You want to get up, and because you and I have both fronted bands pretty much our whole careers, and
oh yeah.
so you're the guy. You have to sell that to an
And the
audience.
shit that you go through.
Yeah, yeah, and the compromising that you have to do because there's two or three other guys in the group that we have to do this number, or I wrote this number and I really want to put it into the set, and you're just not feeling it, and that's a tough spot to be in as a front person.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that
and
was
I
one of my bitches. That was one
yeah
of my bitches. Was like everybody wants me to do this song, but I can't get into it. I
yeah
can't.
yeah.
How am I going to do justice to the song if I can't feel
Yep.
it?
And there's usually two reasons for it. You don't like the song, or it's just you're not physically capable of doing that where you are right now as a singer.
Yeah,
I know we're both we're not young chickens anymore,
yeah,
so we got to stay on top of singing and keep our voices in shape
yep.
to a degree. It's a muscle you got to exercise a lot more than we used to have to. So I can't just step into something and just sing it.
Right,
You know,
right,
depending on what it is, of course. But yeah, it's tough. Common vision in a group is a big thing too. What
right.
are we? What do we want to be? What is our identity? What do we do?
Yeah,
And I think that's probably the first question you got to ask yourself once you find a group of people that want to play together. If you can't answer the question of what you want to be, then I don't know how long is it going to last.
yeah. Tom Nally is in here saying he says, "I'm digging Brian's rotating color LED light of reflection going in the background."
It's the only cool thing I had laying around, and like I have to have something to look at. I guess. Yeah, why not? I tried to get both
uh,
sides to the same color, but I'm
there
not
you
that big
go.
into lighting. I can get through on the audio end, but not the lighting end. So,
That's
thanks,
all
Tom. I
right.
appreciate that. I went to a lot of work.
That's awesome. Actually, he also said anything passionate worth doing takes a lot of work, and he's absolutely right. It
You
it
bet.
it takes a lot. I mean, I don't know how many times double cross. I mean, we started out originally as country, and when Steve Waldo was in the band, we that's he was one of the biggest influences we had.
Sure.
So a
Yeah,
lot of that, and Steve was a dinosaur with music, man. But there was nobody like him. He was a one of a kind in this area. So we took a lot of things that he said to heart. You know what I mean? Plus, he'd been around for a long time. That's what I
yeah.
meant by being a dinosaur. He knew it, and he came from Vermont that way. So
Really?
yeah, he
No,
lived in
that
Vermont. That's where he was from. And so we took a lot what he said, but we actually broke him down a little bit and got him doing ZZ Top and stuff like that because he always just did the telly picking,
yeah.
like Brent Mason, that type of stuff. And so getting him into ZZ Top or some rock and roll was really tough, man. Was really really tough, but once we got him going, man, you could see that old guy just jamming away, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's but that comes down to if you find the right musicians, and then being able to compromise is one of the biggest things with the band too, is being able to like with your genre of music or what you're deciding you're going to pick, is if everybody gives their opinion as in what they would like to see, what so on and so forth, you have to kind of go that way. But compromise is totally the way to go. I admit that, like with most bands that I've ever worked with, what's the one of them right now that's really popular is it's with Kenny Reiber. He has his band. What the
Brandon.
hell's Branded? They're
Brandon.
like at the top right now for
Yep.
country
Yep. They're doing
in the
well
area.
for themselves. Yeah. Yep.
That guy's got a hell of a voice,
Yep.
but he's no spring chicken either.
No. Well, he goes back in closing time with Eddie Lee, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, and that act was around for a long time. I believe Steve Waldo was also in closing time for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
So yeah, Kenny's great, and they've done a really nice job with Brandon. They've latched on to the pop country,
yeah.
vein,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that's great,
Right.
So
Well, I'll be honest with you, Brian. Since I got out of performing and doing, I don't listen to country at all anymore.
is that right? Now,
At all.
when you say you don't listen to country, what do you define as country?
Oh, I'm talking I don't listen to anything like on the country channels, like radio is what I mean. I don't
Okay,
listen to anything on the radio anymore.
yeah,
I haven't turned on a radio in I don't know, probably a half a year.
yeah.
I don't listen to the radio at all.
Well, you have a lot of options besides the radio,
Well,
and,
yeah. I mean,
and we're blessed to have it.
I'll since the new job that I have, being a home health care worker for my parents, I've kind of gone back to the things in the '80s that I loved, and I went back to. I mean, I purchased every single song that AC/DC ever recorded.
Really,
I've got all these CDs in my. I got a six-player CD player in my truck, and it's filled with AC/DC.
really.
Yeah, yeah,
Quite
that's
the
it.
fan.
That's
I, sh-
it.
I should introduce you to my cousin, who's now in Florida. He is a huge AC/DC fan. Has met Malcolm Young a number of times,
No
Angus a
kidding.
number of times. I guess it got to the point where he'd follow them around and they'd pick him out of the audience and bring him backstage, and we got to be quite good friends with him. Yeah.
Man,
And
I saw them live in concert once, and it was the one that they got kicked out of Rochester for. I was there.
you didn't have anything to do with it, did you?
No, but I was high as a kite.
And why
Because
not?
it didn't matter where you went in that concert that night, it was there. You
Yeah.
inhaled secondhand stuff like crazy. You didn't have a
Yeah.
choice.
Sure.
But everybody was hooked on Bon Scott, and You know, it was he was great vocalist. I loved what he did. I didn't love every song he did, but you know, I loved the big collection of it. But Brian Johnson, man, I mean, oh my freaking God. You know, I am so into that guy and his music and what he did with AC/DC. Just that's AC/DC to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
I don't know
whatever.
how he
But
could do it night in, night out on a national tour like that, on an international tour like that. I don't know how he had the voice box left. You know,
I'll
or how
bet
he,
after a 4 hour gig of me playing normally like you do, you know,
sure.
going out and playing a 4 hour gig, most people don't understand. That's actually between a 6 and an 8 hour gig because you've got all the loading, all the unloading, all the wiring, all the, you know, putting everything up,
Yeah,
getting ready, tearing it all down. And then at the end of the night, okay, everybody's wandering around talking to people and they're not back there tearing down. So that
and
takes
you're
longer.
yeah. That's for us, not for Brian Johnson. He's not doing any of that.
Oh no, but that's for us.
You know,
And you know
it,
what else I love is sorry. And the other thing that I love is like those guys only do an hour, hour and a half. You know, and we're still doing 4 hour gigs, and they're doing an hour and a half, and I'm like, oh my God.
it's funny you say a 4 hour gig because I can remember years ago every gig you did was 4 hours, but
Mm-hmm.
somewhere along the line, and maybe it's because you always played you know in nightclubs and more dance clubs with a full band, and I've gone more of the acoustic singer songwriter route.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, it changed from 4 hours as the standard to 3 hours as the standard. Does that ring a bell
Yeah,
with you at all?
it's three sets of 90 minutes, right?
It depends on where you play. It depends on what you do.
No
But
kidding.
but it always seemed to be like it was 10 to 2 or it was 9 to 1, 8 to midnight.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and somewhere along the line, and I'm glad because 3 hours is enough as a musician. You hit that fourth hour and you just don't really have much left, and you're just
Yeah. No, you're
uh,
drained. You want to go home.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
struggling. I mean, how much can these people hear of me, by the way? You know, so I don't know. 3 hours is plenty. 3 hours, very very short break. Actually, a lot of times, if I got a 3 hour gig, I'll play it straight. I don't even want a break
Really?
because if I step down and relax, my energy level goes down, and then I have to bring it back up for the second set. You know, so maybe I'll just rather than take a break, bring the mood right down for 15, 20 minutes, and then go back up. I
Oh,
don't know.
a couple
But just
comments here. Couple comments in here. Let's see. Uh, Nick Muley said, "Yeah, long live AC/DC." Then he says, "Everybody was high back in those days, Teddy." And then Tom Naley spoke up and says, "Everybody is high in the current days, Nick." Oh, that's funny shit. And
maybe they're
Kathy
not high
DeGraw
enough.
says, yeah, maybe not high enough. And Kathy DeGraw, I love her answer. I can neither confirm nor deny if I have ever been high. This is 2020. It's more acceptable nowadays. That's for everything, Eric. That's for everything. Ernie Atwell, Cindy Duke, Mike Hatton, and let me see. Laura Jean, hello, hello, hello. Still climbing, which is nice. So guys, we're sitting here talking with Brian Ayers, who's a musician. He is a singer-songwriter, musician. He's played in several bands, and he has one that actually I'd like to bring up because we did tag on it a little bit. Blue Jimmy. Blue Jimmy, I've watched. I've heard you guys really enjoyed what you guys do. Now you got a little announcement you want to make, right?
Yeah, we are. It's been probably 5 or 6 years since we've done a show together, and that was 25 years of playing together, and then we just had to stop for
Right.
whatever reason. Had to stop. You know, sometimes you just hit a wall. We've taken short breaks before of 6 months to a year and a half, but this has been a while since we've been together, and we've got a show together in about 2 weeks. It's at Lincoln Hill Farms in Canandaigua, and it's on the
Wow.
17th of July. So, and we've just booked Rob Smith and Mike Gladstone from Junkyard Field Trip to open the show for us,
Cool.
and then we go on with a 2 to 3 hour set of almost exclusively Blue Jimmy material, and we put out 4 albums together as a group, and then a
Wow.
culminating kind of like a greatest hits live. Why would you not do a greatest
Right.
hits live?
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, so we've got well, I'll call it a reunion show. So, and it's
That's
something
awesome.
we had scheduled, and then the COVID hit and
Mm-hmm.
shut everything down, as we all know. But we managed to reschedule for July 17th. And Lincoln Hill Farms, if you've not been there, if you've not seen it, it's a must-see venue. It's easily the best venue I've played in a number of years, and
Cool.
it's out off our route, I think 245 in Hopewell, and just an outstanding place. I don't even know how to describe it. Easily, comfortably, 1,000 people outside, and it has this vibe that I just haven't gotten anywhere else.
Right.
It's just strung lights, and I don't even know how to describe it, Ted. It's
Right.
a fantastic place. So,
Yeah, we've all had a place like that, though. You know what I mean? And you get you look forward to it. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, man, I want to do this. I want to do this, and it's like, can't wait to go back again. And we've all got our favorites. Hello,
yep,
Bob Stiegel, and I'm gonna torture your name, Lourdes Gonzalez.
sounds good.
I don't know. It's something. I think it's Lourdes or Lourdes or I'm not going to say it again because I'm going to torture it even more if I keep saying it. So that's the way it goes on this show. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what's really cool, guys, is Brian had sent me some of his material. So we do have some MP3s here for you to play, and then he'll give us an idea about each song, what his idea was behind it, and stuff like that. Top of the hour, we're going to talk about our sponsor and all that. But please, guys, make sure you put your questions in the chat room on everything that I can see here. And please share and like and follow and make sure you get back over. And you know how I work here. You guys get over and check out Brian Ayers on Facebook, on Ayers Brothers, and then Blue Jimmy. Those are both on Facebook. And then the actual website is brianayersmusic.com. So check that out as well. And I do want to say to all of you that were participating in Tuesday's show that purchased albums for David, thank you so much. He sent me an email quick and said thank you so much. He had a great time and thank you for you guys purchasing his album. Just want to make sure you guys all had heard that, so. All right, so now you play how many instruments? You said you played bass, you played trumpet, you play guitar now, right? And you play. Was there anything else to add in there?
Not regularly, no. I tinkle around with a piano if I need some. I got this back here, so if I just need to add some patches or I just want that piano texture, I can get around on the piano, okay. And I'm actually slowly picking up the banjo. I got a banjo back there. Slowly
banjo.
picking that up, and there's a story behind it. You're probably familiar with the Dady brothers.
Yes, I am.
Here.
Yeah.
Kind of mentors of mine. I met them in the mid to early '90s.
Awesome.
And spent an awful lot of time with John and Joe, and great friends. And I still see John regularly, and we get together and work together. You probably know Joe passed about a year and a half ago, and that banjo was his. He had loaned to me to get going on, and I've managed to be able to acquire it from his estate.
Wow.
And I also, shortly before he passed, he had bought some recording gear. He bought a new recording console for himself and also the same model for John. And when he passed, that was to be put up for sale. And I managed to acquire that. And that's kind of an impetus behind a new recording project that I've got. So I'm kind of sitting here right now in front of Joe Dady's recording console. And if you know anything about Joe Dady, just an absolutely tremendous man, tremendous musician, the kindest hearted soul you ever wanted to meet. Everybody got good vibes from that guy. It's near and dear to my heart. So to have his console here in my project studio is a blessing to me, and it's a motivator to me, and it's helped me give rise to a new recording project. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. I have a banjo myself. I don't play. I started to learn acoustic. Decided it wasn't for me. But I also have a banjo though, that my father has, and It's been sitting under his bed for 40 years.
Really? You should get that thing out, my man. Yeah. Finger picks.
Yeah. Oh
The
man,
biggest thing for me is using finger picks. Getting used to those is tough.
yeah. I like just plain like barcodes, and I was learning those, and then just strumming. I was good with that, but uh some things in my mind and my fingers just didn't go together. So I
Yep.
just
Yep.
concentrated on singing.
Well,
So,
you and I are singers, and really, I wouldn't say I'm a guitar player. I play guitar, but I'm not a
right,
player per se. All
right,
the years I've been doing it, improvising and soloing has been a challenge for me.
right.
I don't hardly ever get out of the first position when I'm playing chords. My
Hmm.
brother-in-law, who's a great guitar player, teases me about playing cowboy chords. And you know what? Cowboy chords are good enough for me. They take me where I need to go. And then that's where I bring in my friends that are more skilled at that
There
position.
you go.
I worry
There you
about the writing and the singing.
Yeah,
So
I don't know how many times I was told, just put a guitar on and stand up there with it. It just looks good. Put
yeah.
it on your back. Cover up your belly. I'm like, what? Cover up my belly? Oh, I worked hard on this bitch. No
No,
way.
there's a lot of people that simply throw on strap on a guitar because it says it looks good on stage. I see that a lot
There you
actually.
go.
You
Well,
know.
Bob Spiegel says you play very, very well. He says.
Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Hope all's well, my man, and hope to see you soon. Hope to see you at Lincoln Hill Farms on the 17th.
There you go. There you go. Um, Brian Wilson. Hello, Brian. How are you? Uh, Pamela Phillips as well. Nice to see some friends popping in here. So let's see. Well, let's before we have to go and do a quick commercial thing here. Why don't we get into your music a little bit here?
Would love to. Would love to.
Cool, cool. So the first one up here that I have is Madeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to give us a little idea about Madeline, what that was all about,
Sure.
or
Well,
how that came about?
if you notice, it's spelled with a Y and not an I. So I pronounce
Yes,
in the song, I'm going to sing it Madeline. And,
Madeline.
and,
Okay,
and, and the title of the song is, I'll be honest, I just wanted to sing the name Madeline. I wanted to sing it.
okay,
And so I kind of crafted the song around that. But the song is about um, playing a gig. I had played this show actually down in Hammondsport. Met a lady there, and we kind of hit it off. And we went out for drinks maybe a weekend later. And she told me that she was still kind of grieving her late husband, who had passed.
uh-huh.
And she told me her story a little bit. And I went home and kind of wrote this song about her story. And it's not verbatim what she told me. I took some liberties and kind of crafted it so the lyrics made some sense. And I had phrasing I wanted, but that was the inspiration behind it.
Cool,
So,
cool.
yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna listen to a little bit here,
Cool,
and
man.
hopefully I get the volume right off the bat, and I won't have to change anything.
So Madeline, where's the girl with the worldly smile? You're hard to find, and I've been looking here for a while. I know your world's been shifted all out of line, but if you're still out looking, don't wait to show me a sign. Madeline, you know we both seen pretty hard times. We look behind at the life we've watched unwind. It's like some silly game that we play where your heart don't break and you never run out of time. Madeline, it's alright if you wanna tell me how you left it down to Riverside driving. I think it's fine if you feel you need to take a little time to let your life unwind. There's a million questions I know. I'm sure you've gotta take it slow. I just want to get you by my Madeline. Some years before, you had had everything you wanted and more. One dark day, you had everything taken away. I know I wasn't there, I don't know for sure, but I'm telling you, baby, it feels like you've been there before. In my life, my bad life. It's alright if you wanna tell me how you left you down the Riverside Drive, and I think it's fine if you feel you need to take a little time to let your life unwind. There's a million questions I know. I'm sure you gotta take it slow. I just want to get you by my bad life.
Awesome. Awesome. I love the feel of that song, man. That's awesome.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I did like it. It gave me a feel. It reminded me of early. What is his name? Oh God, I can see his face, but I can't tell you his name right now. Go figure.
I don't know.
Go figure.
Well, hopefully it reminds you of Brian Ayers.
It reminds you of Brian Ayers. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yes, that was one of his. Original songs, Kathy. It is called Madeline, which is unique, to be honest with you. Was that her name?
No. As I said, I just wanted to sing the name Madeline. So I think I did. I heard her story. Thought she was a great lady and would be really nice to get to know her better. But she was processing, and so I guess that song, as I'm hearing it now and it's coming back to me, that song was about just kind of telling her it's okay. You process. If I get to see you again, I get to see you again. You just process, and God bless. Hope everything's okay. So then I just threw the name Madeline in there because I wanted to say Madeline.
Vince Gill was who I was thinking of. The feel of the song was Vince Gill to me.
Thank you. Wow.
Had a very good Vince Gill feel.
I get that. That. Sure.
I really enjoyed that. That was great. Tom, I do not have Alzheimer's. I just couldn't remember his name for a second. Jesus.
Keep saying we're not getting any younger, buddy.
No, we're not. And I got some good friends in this little room that keep me on my toes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Now, this title kind of reminds me of a song by Diamond Rio. The next song is Meet Me in the Middle.
Oh, yeah. Diamond Rio, okay.
Yeah, Diamond Rio. Just by the title, because Diamond Rio had one called Meet Me in the Middle. Or Middle of the Road.
All right.
Maybe that's what it was called. But yeah, so what was the thought about this one?
The song was written. The first the verse that I picked up was actually written by a friend of mine. One of my close friends has has got some co-writing credits on a number of my songs.
Okay.
I've taken some of his pieces and I've crafted them with some melody and maybe made a chorus, and then I've built the rest of the song melodically and lyrically. So
Right.
it was really kind of started by him. His name's Jeff. I can't tell you the message behind it. Really, it was. I guess I will leave it to. I will respect his privacy, I guess, because I think I know what he was driving at.
Okay. Okay.
And I just tried to compliment it from the lyrics. I think it's one of those songs that maybe is really open for interpretation. It's
Okay.
a bit of a it's a bit of a lonely song. It's a bit of a yearning song, but it's
Okay.
got a really nice drive to it. So,
Cool. All right. Well, we have enough time to do another one, so we're gonna go for it.
cool, man. Thank you.
Hey, not a problem. This is what I wanted on my show, so I'm good. I'm
I
happy.
love it. That's why I wanted to be here. That's why he means.
My heart. Meet me in the middle, we can talk about it. So meet me where we met up in the pines. Meet me and I promise you won't regret it. You know I can be there anytime. So meet me where we met. So meet me in the middle, we can talk about it. So meet me where we met up in the pines. Meet me and I promise you won't regret it. You know I can be there anytime. Oh, you know I can be there anytime. So meet me where we met up in the pines. Imagine the motion of a big steel train. It's just like my heart.
I love the steel in this.
Oh.
I love the steel.
Yeah, it's,
You know.
Greg McDowell.
Yeah, that was a big part of that song too. That was
Oh, yeah.
that was awesome. You know. Sorry guys. Yes, I did mute I didn't realize that if I muted my microphone, for some reason, you guys wouldn't hear the song. I have no
I
idea
was gonna
why.
add, yeah.
I had no idea why that did that because I have a mixing board that's direct. It's on it's on its own channel. So who the hell knows?
We got half. That's good.
Oh God, God, that was my fault. I'm so sorry. I heard it all though. I'm good.
Touchdown.
Touchdown for Teddy. So
Yes.
Tom stopped giving me grief because I answered them because they're like, I can't hear it, and I said, well, I didn't mute anything, and I didn't think about it. I did mute myself, and Tom's like, don't sass me. I guess I'll have to figure out why it's doing that. I have no idea. Okay, so love the song, man. And it was a different feel than the first one, definitely. But I loved it, and you know, this is something that and I was thinking about this while I was hearing the song, listening to the song. It's like I didn't realize how good your voice was. Like I've heard you live, but on a recording, you know what I mean? There's a big difference for me. You know, trying to remember what you sounded like live versus what I'm hearing on a recording.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen each other in 10 years easy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but I mean, just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I will thank you. I will say live, I have a tendency to oversing. You know how it is. You get on stage, you get an audience, the energy is high. And I do tend to oversing, and I that's probably the single biggest thing I'm working on in my performance is staying calm and staying in the moment, and just representing the song the way it needs to be represented,
right?
And not trying to go off field with it. That's a struggle. Right. My tempos get fast. My bass player Mike Nelson, he is great at keeping me in the pocket. You know, I depend on that, so.
I have somebody like that too.
And there are times he tells me to calm down, and I say no. But for the most part, he keeps me in line, keeps me roped in.
Yeah, usually when I get the shit like that, I'm like, they're like, oh, stop being an ass. You know, but I don't know. I'm the same way because live music, when you're on stage. Now, let me ask you a personal question. Do you still get butterflies getting on stage?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess, I mean, not like I used to, but, right. You know, because I'm number one, I'm confident in what I can do by now. And,
right.
And you remember the Howie Mandell show we were talking about an hour ago?
Yeah.
I was nervous for that because the gig was really.
Oh, it was Howie. I mean,
yeah, it's Howie, but it's a weird gig, and I didn't think it was going to go over well, and it did have some problems. But that was in Erie, Pennsylvania, so I did the gig. It didn't go so well. I mean, Howie liked it, and that's what's most important. But the very next, I drove back home that night from Erie, Pennsylvania, and the very next day, I realized that I'm at my own sink washing my own dishes. And I'm on my own garden tractor mowing my own lawn. So no matter how good or bad the gig goes, it's not going to have a major impact on what I'm doing the next day. I still got a house to maintain, a family to raise. So hell, go for broke, you know, screw it, you know. And I don't get it like I used to, but I do get a little bit of butterflies every time, even if it's just around a campfire with friends, you know. Yeah. And I think that's good. That. I think it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you from getting too lazy.
I mean, we used to do this up here because I have a huge fire pit and stuff. But Steve would come up, Daryl would come up, and we would just grab the acoustics and just play around the fire. And there's nothing like that, man. You and your friends just jamming a couple songs, laughing about stories from certain gigs, and God, it was great.
Yep.
You know, so.
It's the best.
Eric Harrison says, you hit garden tractor, you mean lawnmower, right? LOL.
I don't know. Interchangeable? Are they interchangeable? No. I prefer garden tractor, even though I haven't had a garden in years. Garden tractor. Makes me sound like it's my profession.
And Tom, you came late, so you missed the whole story with him meeting Howie Mandel and him opening up for his show. So you suck. I mean,
Starts at 11.
oh man. Okay, so we are going down. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta play. Let's do this real quick. Let's talk about the sponsor for the evening. Sponsor tonight is MysteriousAdventurestours.com. I have their email here for you. It's mysteriousAdventurestours@gmail.com. Guys, this um, organization or business for Mysterious Adventures Tours is amazing. It's ran by two individuals that love sending people on trips and around the world. In fact, next June, myself, and I'm inviting you guys and everyone else to join me. We're going to be going to Ireland to enjoy some of the music and the festivities in Ireland, as well as sightseeing and staying in a 5-star castle. I mean, there's just so much going on with Ireland. I'm going for the music. I'm going for a few things, but the music is the main thing. Plus, it's my homeland, and I want to belly up to a good old Irish pub, and I want to, just kind of mingle. And that's the whole reason I'm going that. So I'd really like you guys to go along with me. So check out MysteriousAdventurestours.com. It's a great place. Check it out. It's a very cheap trip. You can make installment plan payments, so you don't have to have it all at once as well. So you can make monthly payments on it. So MysteriousAdventurestours.com. That's our sponsor for the evening. So, which is really, really cool. Guys, don't forget, this is on WLFE DB Radio. We live stream all different types of shows. We are audio casting as well as video casting. We're not your typical podcast network. And there's several new shows out there. There's more new shows showing up here. Everything from, and they're all talk for the most part. Mine is the only variety show that plays music from my guests. But all the other shows are really cool. You have drag shows, you have paranormal shows, you have just no nonsense shows. You have there's even a new show coming. I think it's called Just Cindy, and it's basically just her giving her opinion and what she does in her life and everything else. So you want to check that out as well. So WLFE-DB.com. Check that out, and don't forget to go over to my YouTube page tonight or today and go over and like and share as well, please, because I'm trying to get that up to 100 so that I can put Talk with Teddy on there and get my own URL for it, own custom URL. So, all right, so we are sitting here and we are talking with Mr. Brian Ayers. Brian's Facebook pages are Ayers Brothers and Blue Jimmy, and you can go to his website at brianayersmusic.com. Brian is a local musician, but he has done a lot of work with other bands, and he has worked with some greats as well. And it's great material. Great guy. In fact, some of the stuff, I'll just give you a quick recap. He's a singer-songwriter, performed originals and cover materials, everything from country, folk, and rock. He's worked with and opened up as a supporting role for people such as Travis Tritt, the Beach Boys, yes, Howie Mandell, for you, Tom, and Michael Bolton, Shooter Jennings, Roger Clyde, Steve Holy, amongst others. So there is, excuse me, a lot there that he has done. Great musician. I've known him for a long while now, and he puts on some great shows. And Blue Jimmy, he's got they're doing a reunion show. So, all right, I think that's a pretty cool recap. I guess that'll work.
Oh man, you hit the highlights.
I tried. Okay. So, yeah, exactly, Eric. Tom boasts about all of his viewers like he just did because you had to mention it. So, Tom comes from a show, Brian, called This is Tom's World. And basically he goes on journeys and records his trips and all that stuff and kind of explains things to people. He checks out like ruins and parks and stuff like that has value, history.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool YouTube page.
I
So,
would
all
dig,
right. So,
I
go
would
ahead.
dig that because I am a history teacher by trade. That's my my day
Yeah,
gig.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, you should check it out. He's doing one right now in Pennsylvania. He's actually put his best foot forward, and he is helping redo and recoup a garden and a park that has a little bit of a Tom Naley, I guess, in his show. It's was a human chessboard. Really cool, right? A human chessboard. So he's helping them clean up the pads, I guess, the little square pads, and cleaning it all up and doing all that because it's got a lot of history, and it's awesome.
All
It's
right.
really awesome. So, okay, enough about Tom. There you go, Tom. You got your plug. Now shut up. Um, so now we are going to Round and Round.
Yeah, man. This is one of my favorite songs.
Really?
Yeah, it's there. For some reason, we just couldn't capture. This is off a Blue Jimmy album. I did an acoustic demo when I first wrote this song, and I'm in love with it. And we didn't quite capture the feel of it, but we were damn close. Round and round. It's kind of going round and round in a relationship. You know, you've been in a relationship before. You're chasing the carrot, and it's just, you're trying to nail it.
There you
So
go. Yeah, and Eric Harrison, real quick, says, nice. Thanks, Brian, for being a teacher, particularly history.
thank you. It's an interesting gig, especially this time of the year. Or
There you go.
This day and age. So.
Yep. All right, so we are going to play Round and Round. And I won't mute anything. I promise. All right.
Well, I'm waiting to see you, and I'm waiting for a time when I can be near you. I hope you're not as far away as you seem. If you wanna keep going, well, this would be a good time to show it. I think I need something to believe. We go round and around, baby, time and again, wondering how and where and when. Win or lose, I wanna try it again and again. This love's a decision. It doesn't always arrive with perfect precision. It only comes around every once in a while. Some women are jaded, some are just a little bit too complicated. But all I see in you is a smile. Some folks say that it's too far to go. I know there's so much that I don't know. There's so much inside, but there's only so much I can show. We go round and around, baby, time and again, wondering how and where and when. Win or lose, I wanna try it again and again. Try it again and again. If you need me to, I will come home to you in a day or two, and I'll be with you again. And you never have to worry about where I've been. We go round and around, baby, time and again, wondering how and where and when. Win or lose, I wanna try it again and again.
I agree with you, Eric. I totally agree with you.
I'll try
I
to
think it.
remind you.
Well, between the Jimmy Buffett and all that, yeah, I can see that. As soon as he mentioned that, I'm like, yeah, yeah, I
I
can
have
see that.
I've gotten the JT comparison. I've gotten the John
Uh,
Denver comparison. I have never gotten the Jimmy Buffett comparison. So
well, you have now.
cool. That's cool. I have now. Here on Talk with Teddy.
Yeah, and Nick says, great song, yes, very 90s feel to it, he
Cool,
says.
man. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. Shout out to my brother Chad on that. He played the Mandel parts. So
That's awesome.
it's something we don't know.
Kathy says, very cool, and that's awesome. I actually wrote down mandolin, and I'm like, it. I love it. I mean, I really listen to a song when I don't, when I listen. I like to listen to the parts and what I hear, and that, I actually learned that from Steve Waldo. With listening to guitar parts and how they should sound, and then Joe Tremero, who's the bass player. I've had 3 or 4 bass players now, but Joe was very big into sound as well. So I got to listen. I kind of took what they said and used it to listen to the parts. That's all I'm really saying. So
Yeah.
I really like that. So.
Cool, man. Well, thanks. Well, that's one of the benefits. All 3 of the songs that you played were on Blue Jimmy albums. So yeah,
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they're my songs, and I wrote them. But Blue Jimmy took them to the next level as a band and crafted them into what you hear now. So a lot of what makes it as good as it is the other 4 guys. But the previous song, you said you love the pedal steel. This song showcases the mandolin.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And it's just it's a great group. It's so well versed, and we strive for different tonalities and different textures, and just a blessing to have known those guys for as long as I have, and can't wait for this show coming up on the 17th. I can't wait to get the stage with them again.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a treat.
Tom Naley, I am gonna kick your butt, little Tom Naley. He's like, laugh my effing butt off. Ted said, and I quote, I really listen to a song when listen. I'm like, shut up, Tom. Why are you harassing me tonight? Oh, my God. Now, the question I have is, are any of these songs available for people to get if they really like the song?
Yeah, you can don't look for me. Look for Blue Jimmy, because all that stuff was released in Blue Jimmy. That's been my main vehicle to get stuff out. So you look Blue Jimmy, and you'll find it on iTunes. You'll find it on Spotify. I think a lot of it's on Napster, what used to be Rhapsody. Outside of that, I don't know. I don't have my finger on it right now, but iTunes and Spotify definitely. All the albums are up there.
All right, so I'm just putting that up here so that they know.
You're working in real time.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm working in real time. So albums are under Blue Jimmy on Spotify and iTunes.
That's right, man.
So there you go, guys. So you can, if you like these songs, you can go over there and listen to them or purchase them, however you want to do it. I think that's awesome. So let's go down here some more. We are on the rough part.
All right. You want to do rough?
No.
Rough part.
I'm waiting. The rough. Tom's like, wait, Napster is still a thing? I have no idea, Tom.
It is a thing. Actually,
it is a thing.
The old file sharing Napster. Yeah. And for years I had Rhapsody music streaming service. And that got bought out by somebody, or they changed their name to Napster. And Napster is a thing again.
So Napster still exists, guys. Now there's 2 of them talking about it. It's like it does exist.
It was, but I miss the old Napster, the old file sharing. Search for a tune, and you have 30 different options from around the world. download MP3s. I remember the good days.
Oh, okay. So we're into the rough part. What's this one about?
Yeah. This first of all, this has never been released before. This is a track that is this version's kind of experimental. I originally cut it just me and the guitar, and then Mike Nelson, the bass player in Blue Jimmy, who is my closest collaborator right now, he took it and added a lot of what you're about to hear. It's about not being able to sleep. It's about things stirring in your mind and
It sounds
about
like anxiety to me.
yeah. It suits your anxiety really well, my man. You get up in the morning, and if you have routine, it's really good because you cook breakfast, you get the kids off, you go to work, you're busy with work, you come home and you do all your daily things, and you get the kids in bed, and then it's time for you to go to bed. And that's when it's hard. That's when all that shit comes back in your mind. That's the rough part, man. So that's what this is about. So
okay, and this has never been released, folks. So we're gonna.
I told you I got a new project that I'm working on right now, and I thought one of the songs that I'd throw at you would be something that hasn't been heard yet. So
there we go. So
I'll tell
it's
you,
never been heard.
It's slow and it's deep, so get ready.
Okay, Tom, don't make any smart ass comments.
He will.
You said
he will. I don't even know the guy. He will. Might need a little more volume on this one.
This is the rough part. This is the time when my mind is free to wander and wander around all night. Thoughts, they go everywhere, and they usually take me back to what I'm running away from, and all I'm holding back. This is the rough part, the end of every day. There's no grind of life to occupy that space. No task to perform. There's no dinner to make. When I just lie down to sleep, and all I can do is think. I can't stop running my mind, finding mistakes, feeling left behind. Wondering how my world became so maligned, and if I could ever be realigned, I need to rein it in and get some kind of grip. Heart is headed for the cliff. Wondering how my world became so maligned, and if it could ever be realigned, I better rein it in, get some kind of grip, give my head the wheel, My heart is headed straight for the cliff. Yeah, this is the rough part. This is the time when the liquor and the beer, they don't work as they were advertised. And when the morning comes in, I'll probably be there to watch it come in like I did last night. It's an all-night affair. Yeah, this is the rough part. This is the time.
Wow. I really like that song. Oh my God, that's great.
Dig it all right, bro?
Oh my God, yes. I love that.
Thanks, man.
Eric here, he goes, this is cool, because apparently he didn't hear what you said. If I may ask, what was going on that inspired that song?
No, I think I did. I saw his comment. I just figured out how to see the live comments here.
Oh, okay. I should have told you. I'm sorry.
No, maybe he did, because he was on earlier. Keeping you up at night, things, conflict. I'm just going to share the word conflict, and conflict is going on that didn't let me go for months, and this song just came out of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like I said earlier. It's kind of like anxiety because you've been busy and there's so much going on in your head, and no matter what you do, you try to lay down. It's like you can't shut your mind off.
Yeah, but the best,
shut your mind off.
But when you have that going on, the best parts of the day are when you have stuff to do. You take your mind off. You don't have time to think about it because you got to get through the day, take care of your stuff. The real hard part is when you don't have anything to preoccupy yourself. You're supposed to sleep. It's hard. It's hard. So anyway, it's personal enough to where I wasn't gonna release the tune. I was just gonna keep it to myself and shelve it. And
you know what? That's awesome. That's probably one of the best songs so far we've heard, if you don't mind me saying. I mean, I really do.
Good, man. Then I guess it was all worth it then, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. Nick said the same thing. Definitely the best one so far.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
and thank you, Eric.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. And, Eric, it wasn't you weren't being nosy. It's what you should do. You should ask.
Yeah. I'm
That's what
flattered.
the show's all about.
I'm flattered you'd want to know, bro. Thank you.
That's awesome. All right. We're down to 2 hands before we get to some of these other ones.
Yeah. If we got time, it's 12:30 now. Are we good for a little while?
Yeah, unless you want to go, we can. I'd like to get this one in.
No, man, I'm good. I'm good. 2 hands is I included this phrase "tilt-a-whirl" in a song. How's that? That's my claim to fame with this one.
Okay, let's play it.
You'll get the gist right off the bat. But listen, for "Tilt-a-whirl," it's awesome.
Okay. All right. Love it already.
All right, man.
I'm up at 3, it's early, I know we can have some coffee on the front porch before I go. Drink it real slow. I know you're fine, but do it all the time, 'cause the road taking me away is up my whole world. My whole world. Yeah, when I get home, I'm here on the road. I'm gonna love you for a week or so. 'Cause I got 4 days to the New York line. And I got 3 ways to let it out. Get you off my mind. You got 2 hands laying on the wheel. I got 1 mind thinking about the good love that I feel.
I need a copy of that song.
Well, you have a copy of it now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I guess so.
I'll keep that drop box open for you, brother. I won't take it down.
That is awesome. All I could think of is okay. I'm gonna give you my thoughts. I was writing down.
Sure.
One was it's a fast 2-step. If people like to dance in couples, it's a great 2-step song. I wasn't sure if it was Steel or Dobro. Steel, yeah, but it still had a Dobro feel a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, that I caught in there, which I really liked. I don't know. If I was to put that on a CD and give it to my mother, who's 80 years old, she would put it on her CD player and dance in the front yard with it.
Yeah.
I know she would. I know she would.
That's great. That's great. Again, I can remember. I remember writing it as a ballad. I remember writing it as a ballad, and then not obviously recording it the way I did, or the way we did. But again, that's so much blue Jimmy. Chad Ayers has got that opening guitar part. That's Greg on the pedal steel. That's Mike Nelson on the bass. Steve Nelson on the drums. Just rock solid. So, you know, I think every one of the tunes that you've played so far is on our set list for the reunion show on the 17th. So
really,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I really like that song. That's cool. That's really cool. I have to play it for my mom tomorrow and see what she thinks.
Please do, man. Please do. Let me know how she likes it.
I totally will. Let's see here. Of course, I hit the back button. Jesus, I hate technology sometimes.
No, you love it all the time.
All
all the time.
There we go. All right, so now you had a couple cover tunes on here, and I wanted to talk about those as well.
Yeah.
Eric says that one definitely has a feel-good type to it, so that's cool. And Tom really likes it, you know. So yeah, I think really good responses from these people in here. And I have missed some of these over here, and I'm so sorry, guys. Grant Gaskin, Steve Brandt, Russell Wishman, and man, I like that last name, Wishman. And then of course Wayne Miracle, and a miracle behind him. So Wishman Miracle, right behind him. That's kind of cool. So all right, so let's move on to.
I tell you what, if there's one more original on there, if you don't mind going that way.
Yeah, which one?
Round it up. Long Time, it's called.
Okay.
And I'd like to share it because it's got Todd East on the piano and the
Oh,
organ.
no shit. Todd
Yeah.
East. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, I think he's living out in the Midwest, maybe Tennessee now. But he comes back. Woody Woodward brings him back into town every once in a while. Just the best guy and a monster player, as you obviously know.
Yeah.
So I brought him in on a few songs, and this is one of them. And this showcases Todd East. You know,
Awesome.
it's a straight up rocker. It showcases Todd East.
Let's do it, man. This is awesome.
Oh, man.
God, I can't believe you brought that name up. I haven't heard that name in forever.
He's still around. He's still playing.
That's cool. That is cool. All right.
Stop over, hoping that you call, but I'm starting to think I'll never hear from you at all. Been a long, long time, still you ain't coming back. It ain't been easy, but I feel like I'm back on track, but it's still so hard. Coming back. We don't have to talk about it, so we don't have to lie. We just keep missing each other. We used to be right on time. We used to be right on time. On the ground. We don't have to talk about it, so we don't have to lie. We just keep missing each other. We used to be right on time. We used to be right on time. But I'm still hoping you'll stop over, hoping that you call. But I'm starting to think I'll never hear from you at all. We don't have to talk about it, so we don't have to lie. We keep on missing each other. We used to be right on time. We don't have to talk. Don't have to lie. We keep on missing each other. We used to be right on time. Said we used to be right on time. We used to be right on time. We used to be right on time.
Cool.
It's kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
Pretty simple,
love the
straight
keys.
ahead.
Yeah, love the keys. Love it. You know, a lot of people in here has got, they're like it's country or country feel. I think it's kind of in the middle of the road there. I'm feeling more of a
I think it's just rock and roll.
contemporary rock and roll pop mix. I mean, it's
pop rock, sure.
Yeah. That's I wouldn't say necessarily country, but yeah, it's
I just call it music.
It's just music, man. Yeah, it's just music. Fuck giving it a label.
Right.
Um,
Music. It's just fun. It's just
yeah,
fun.
it's just that's the whole thing about being like we've said it in the past, and I'm sure you have or somebody else has, is that when it stops being fun, it ain't worth doing no more.
Right. Yep. Yep.
It's about the love of the music and the fun and the reactions that you get from the crowds and the people and stuff like that. And I don't care. I mean, I've been in those places where I stood in front of 74,000 people, and I've stepped in it where it's only been like two people. And the whole point is getting the reaction from them, getting their foot tapping, giving them clapping or up dancing or moving. And, if you can touch them, then that's it. I mean, it's all worth it, but it has to be fun or no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say, kind of on that note, the whole state of affairs with the coronavirus and whatnot. If I could take that back and make sure it never happened, I absolutely would.
Right.
But having to stay home and not being able to gig and having to cancel a slew of gigs and just remove myself from that, musically has done wonders for me. I'm grateful for it, actually. Just to step back and hit the pause button on that, because sometimes it's not so fun. Sometimes you start to lose touch, and the last 3 months has given me a chance to just kind of recenter and refocus,
Yeah.
and start anew when it's time to start anew.
Yeah.
So I've appreciated it, really.
Well,
It's a silver lining on a very big gray cloud.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've talked to. I think we've had probably close to 8 musicians now on here, a couple nationals, Van Zant being one of them, and we've talked about the COVID thing to where, Vinny Van Zant, by the way, and Vincent, I should say, and we have talked about what COVID has done, and you're saying exactly what all these other artists are saying, that it's a shame that it happened, but musically for some of these artists, whether you're local, regional, or national, it's actually done wonders for them musically, because they've been able to write, produce their own stuff, get new albums put together, and all that. So you're right in there with the rest of them. I mean, I guess I'm the only one that hasn't done anything with music. But I've done this. I've done this.
And it's great, and I love this. And thanks for having me tonight, man. I really appreciate it. Really great show you got here. Nice to meet your friends here, and love it.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I wasn't sure, how it was going to go, and because it seemed like you were a little like, I don't know, but I'm like, I'm glad. I'm really happy that you came out.
I don't know. On my part, you're saying?
Yeah. It acted like you weren't sure, but
I wasn't sure. It was 11 o'clock to 12:30, and I'm like, what is this? But what the hell? And I'm so glad I did, bro. I'm so glad I did. It's been
I am too. I mean, a late variety show. I mean, when I put this together, it was because of COVID, because of the pandemic, and that's why I put this whole thing together. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to let's treat it like the night show, like Johnny Carson, but it's different. It's video casting instead.
Yeah.
And let's just bring in different talent from all over the place. It doesn't matter where it comes from, and let's get them on here. Let's show them off, and stuff like that. And the way I look at it too is, hello Octane, nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, I've had everything from horror clowns on here to magicians, bubble magicians, just everything. And I love it because we're exposing, like you, to new people that have never heard you from all over the place. These guys are all over the states. I've got some from Australia. I mean, they're from all over.
That's great.
And to be able to share you with them for me, it's what I wanted to do, and I love doing that. So
thanks, man. Remember we were talking about coffee houses and the intimacy, and the people are there for the music. This is another one of those things that, I mean, you're focusing on what I do, and how grateful am I for that? So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And yes, Nick, I have had Nick on here. I've had Tom on here as well. So yes, I've had you guys. I didn't forget about you. Now come on, it's not your time. You had your time. Now behave. Shut up. So yeah, I love it. I just I did it like I said in the beginning. I did the whole tour thing with the CDCTT, and I wanted to. I love that so much because it was a 7-year gig.
Yep,
We had pack shows for 7 years
you did. Yep.
of bringing in brand new talent, having the bands that were staples in our area to draw the crowds, so that these people could see new talent, younger talent, talent they'd never seen before. And I'm like, you know what? I've got a radio network that I can do whatever I want on.
Yeah.
My buddy John owns the network. I own a percentage of it, and I'm able to do my show whenever I want. And I felt, you know what? Let's do it as a late night. We can put the rated R on there, so we don't have to worry about swearing. We don't have to worry about comments or anything else,
Yep.
and cover it with, FCC and everything else. So this is what I wanted to do, and it's my way of still giving back to the music part and, the community of talented individuals, the best way I can. So.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh God, I guess so.
An easy one. You see all this gear I have in here, and this is just.
I missed that. Yes.
I'm a gearhead. What is the microphone you have in front of your mug there? What is that? What is that?
Oh, what is this?
Is it a Rode NT? No, is it?
This is a it's an XI by shit, I can't remember.
Huh. Is it?
I don't remember.
Is it a USB mic?
No. I didn't. No, this is a real mic.
Okay.
No, omnidirectional. It's a talk mic. It's
Okay.
omnidirectional.
Okay.
XI, and I think it's the. I don't know. I don't remember the company's name. It's nobody big that I know of around here.
I want to get a talk broadcast mic, and I'm kind of going back and forth between an RE20 and a Shure 7B. So maybe a 7B. I think I'm going to go with.
Well, my buddy, I'm pretty sure you've heard of him, John Winter. He owns J Wolf Pro.
Yep.
John Winter, yeah. He's actually the owner of WLFE DB Radio. He's the actual owner of the network. And basically, I'm the program director. And that's my title, I guess. And I bring in whatever I can for shows and stuff. And we've actually been toying around with finding a person like myself that would like to go out and basically watch bands or performers in the music genres all over, and then bring them on and talk about their music and kind of, do that. And we're still looking for that, but for now, this is what I'm doing. But that was John's whole, thing that he wanted to do. But he's great. Most podcasters use the snowball mics and stuff like that, but I love this, and when I showed it to John, he wanted to throw it in the garbage. He wanted to give me one of his real good mics, and I'm like, no, dude, this is mine. I paid for it myself. Get the hell away from me.
No.
And it works fine.
It sounds nice. You don't even have a pop filter on it, and it's and everything's controlled. It's good.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I watch my knobs over here. That sounded bad. I watch the knobs over here to where, if it goes into the red or anything like that, and I'm not great with soundboards or anything like that, but I can manage.
Yeah, sure. Right.
I can manage. So, and yes, there is, Tom, a difference between USB mics and a standard microphone with a standard connection. There definitely is a difference. Nick's like, Ted doesn't always like it when you ask him questions. I thought it was going to be something hard about my music or, what the hell I'm doing. But,
Take a shot. So.
Hey, no, that's all right.
Hey, my brother, I hate to say it, but I have to.
No, I'm good.
Run.
I'm good. So, but yeah, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your music and your thoughts and all that stuff. It was great. And, hey, pass it out. If you know anybody else that'd be willing to come and be on the show and share what they've got and what they do, I'd love to have them.
Absolutely, man. I got a couple ideas, and I'll send you a message or something like that about.
That sounds great, man.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time and your praise. Thank you to everybody here in the comments that tuning in.
And everybody we can't see.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Come out of it. So.
All right, man. All right, thanks, Brian. So
Lincoln Hill Farm for the 17th. All right, brother. I hope you can make it.
Yeah. On the 17th, July 17th, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, just like 16 days. No, what's today? The 2nd? So 14 days from now.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because the week after, I'm in Gettysburg.
You too, Eric. Have a good night, buddy. Gettysburg's great, man. Love it.
Yeah, I do a show there. I do it's a big convention, and I'm there, and we take the radio show there, and we do live there for 3 days. So it's awesome.
Can I go?
Yeah, hop in, get in the suitcase. There you go. So one more time, our guest was Brian Ayers. You can check him out on brianayersmusic.com, Facebook pages, facebook.com, of course, Ayers Brothers, or Facebook Blue Chimney. Someday I'll get my tongue fixed so I can, what's that line? It's my tongue is in front of my eye teeth and I can't see what I'm saying. That's the line.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us here with Talk with Teddy. You guys know that we love you. And remember, when you're out there taking care of yourself, take care of your neighbors because they're important as well. And, they could use a hand once in a while. So, take care of your neighbors. There you go. Isn't that a bitch when you have to figure out where to do it? You might as well just take 2 thumbs up. And don't forget our sponsor tonight, guys. And hopefully you guys will sign up to go to Ireland with me next summer. And then just so everybody knows, here's a secret. We're going to Scotland the year after. So, yeah. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks again. What?
Tom Daly, shoot me an IM and I'll give you a picture of me and Howie. All right, brother?
Oh, really? You should have sent it to me. I would have put it up here.
I was going to try to find it in the middle of our banter, but I wasn't able to. So, yeah. If Tom, you don't get a hold of me, I'll send it to Tad and he'll send it to you. So.
There you go. All right, guys. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys on... No, we won't see you Saturday. That's 4th of July. There is no show 4th of July. We'll see you next Tuesday. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you and my guests for joining me here on Talk with Teddy. Be safe and look out for one another. Don't forget that Talk with Teddy is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, so please go and subscribe. Thank you.